So the secret to getting what you want in life, I learned this from Brian Tracy a long time ago. He was here in Stockholm and he was doing a major event where he taught truly the principles of how to get everything you want. And I've learned this from him. I've furthered it through Tony Robbins, through Kim Kiyosaki, and of course my own experiences. Let me share this with you because it's very, very powerful. So Brian Tracy came to Sweden and he was teaching about the power of writing down your goals. And what he did was he referred to an old Harvard Business Review study. So Harvard Business Review, they did a study, a long time ago. They did this study where they interviewed everyone who was beginning at Harvard University. And so they asked them about who they were, their background, their interest, and specifically about their goals. So they asked them about, what is your background? What are you, what do you want? Where are you going? And they found that everyone fell into one of kind of three different groups. And so the first group, they found they had no goals. And remember, these are top students in the United States who've worked so hard, but they had no goals. Then there was a second group, also a very big group, who had a vague idea of where they were going, but it was not clear and it was definitely not written down. And then there was a third group. About 1% of the people they spoke to had clearly written down goals with a deadline that they had shared with a friend. Now, they followed up with these people after 5 years, after 10 years, after 15 years, and finally after 20 years. And after 20 years, they asked them just one simple question. They asked, how much money are you making today? And remember, this is the US. People answer when they ask that question, all right? But it turned out that this 1%, this little group who had clearly written down goals with a deadline, who had shared them with a friend, were now making 20 times as much as the other 99% combined. Isn't that amazing? Hey, Rita, good morning. Thank you so much for being here with me live. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone else who's live. And sorry, I can't keep always up with when you comment, so I'm a little slow there. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. I appreciate all of you being here, the thumbs up and everything. That always makes this a lot more fun. But it was a very powerful realization to me when I learned this, and I ran out when I started writing down my goals. And now fast forward over the years, I've learned a lot of different very powerful methods that I use to truly get what I want, okay? Which is what we're all after, right? So what I do is I have a 3-step process that I use, and I want to share with you all 3 steps so that you can use it and implement it. So step 1 is to get really, really, really clear on what you want. So now, how do you do that? How do you get clear on, what do you want? How do you figure that out? Well, what I do is I like to turn on some nice music. I'll go out here, sit down by our pool, in the sun if it's summer. Otherwise, I sit inside when it's cold. I do live in Sweden after all. But so what I do is I sit down, I turn on some calm, nice music. It can be some Enya or classical music or something like that, or just some meditational music. And so what I do is I meditate and just find my center. What I then do is I fast forward. I kind of jump into the future. I project myself into my future dream life. And what I do is I spend some time there. So I spend some time in my dream life. I spend some time figuring out, what is going on? What am I doing? How does a day look? Where do I live? What do I do? And I put all these things together. And I get this really clear message. And I always have a notepad when I'm there, because the moment I open my eyes, I start writing. And I try to get this down as clearly as possible. Hey, guys, thank you so much, everyone. I make sure I get that really clear view of what's going on. Good morning, Charlie. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing good today. Hope you're excited for this week. And when I have that truly clear view of exactly what I'm going to do or where I'm going, I break it down into what I call my shopping list. All right. So what I do is I pick out key parts for each part of my life, and I try to take the ones that will have the greatest impact and give me the biggest jump to my goal. And I write them down as a shopping list. So that's step 2. Create your shopping list. And it's kind of like Joe Vitale says in The Secret. Like, think of the universe as a shopping catalog. You go, oh, I want that. I want that. I want that experience. I want that relationship. I want this thing. I want that. I want to get to know this person. You know, so it's like a shopping catalog. And so I write down that shopping list. So I write it in a very specific way. I write, I am, or I have, whatever it is I want. So it can be, I live in my dream house, was something I wrote 12 years ago. I live in my dream house. And then what I do is I add the deadline, because deadlines make it more powerful. Remember the Harvard Business Review study. This was actually confirmed by a study at Virginia Tech that proved that people who did this around their money goals made 7 times as much money over their lifetime as those who didn't. So it does work. All right. And obviously this works the same for all parts of life. They just chose to do it on the money side. But so I write it down. I live in my dream house by the date. Right? So it's by the, and then I add the date to it. Once I have the date down, that gives me that clarity. It gives me, because we always work harder when we have a deadline, don't we? Like, you know, we push harder for the test the closer we get to the test, right? Remember back in school when we had to do studying, you know, we would work harder just before the test rather than spacing it out. So that's why we add that deadline. So you're working hard and you have that deadline, and it's self-imposed. We know this, but still it motivates us to work harder. Now, after I've done that, once I have this clear defined goal and I have this list, and they're all positive, so it's not I would like to have, or it would be nice, or I don't want to have this. You know, it's all positive. I have, I own, I am, I know. You know, it's all these things that, like, I am, you know, this is mine already. It's like, it's positive present tense, as they call it. Now, once I'm there, once I have this list, I want to visualize it. I want to make it as clear, as powerful, and emotional as possible. So step 3 is I get a matching picture or multiple pictures for each point on this list. So for example, for my dream house, well, what is my dream house? Well, I put together a like picture montage, a collage, if you will, of pictures that showed off my dream house. Fast forward, and I actually moved in there. You know, I got my pool just like I wanted. Yeah, I actually had it on the back of the house on my picture, but now it's on the side. So, you know, it doesn't always come out exactly, but close enough. And that's what I want to share is, you know, doing that is very powerful. And those 3 steps will give you a lot. So, and what you want to do is put that up so you can see it. So I have my goals on my, you know, on my bathroom mirror, and I'll see them every single day, and I update them as time goes by, because, you know, your goals change, your vision changes. Good morning, Emma. How you doing? Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And so as you grow, as your interest expands, you update your goals, and that's okay. It's not that you're shiny penny syndrome. It's that your values are changing, you're growing, and so are your goals with you. And I try to make sure I have goals in all the important areas of my life. So financial, I call it career, but you could also call it impact. You know, what do I want to do for the world? What is the legacy I want to give behind me, so to speak? So money, career, impact, relationships, health, and spiritual development. You should have goals in all areas of life. And you know what? Never be worried about setting too big a goal. It's, as a lot of famous people say, it's, you know, if you set a really high goal, it pushes you to go further. And it's much more fun to get close to a huge goal even than to succeed with a small one, because you've gotten so much further. So let it inspire you. It's okay. Push yourself and get it done, all right? So thank you so much. We got a new exciting week because it's Monday. So let's all get our goals in front of us, take a look, use that motivation going into the week, and let's smash this week. All right, awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.